Yeah, this is our most powerful demo because it's showing the working in an integrated way the SDK RI, and yeah, and we have to emphasize on this demo because it's yeah, technology from a technological point of view, we are using all the layers in the architecture using the SDK RI, and is a quite relevant achievement for the project.
Hello everyone.
Hi Kaiser.
Hey. Okay, let me. So here we have the SDK reference implementation, which is basically deployed on Node 1. And A1 and Victor have already explained how the systems are integrated with each other. And based on those, we have those common services which are exposed to the semantic engine are being used by this SDK reference implementation. So here we have different kind of APIs, like we can delete, we can get template, we can get offering based on the category, we can get an offering based on its ID, we can get all the offerings that are registered by any data provider. Then we can register a new data offering, and then we can also register a data provider and also update an offering. So let's start with this. To use this implementation, first someone has to register himself as a data provider. So if I go there, so to let you know, because this instance is deployed on the node 1, so every insertion will be done on the node 1. So the semantic engine deployed on node 1 will have this data. Let's say this is 24. So this is the provider ID I'm gonna use to register as a data provider. So here you can see the organization and other information about this data provider. If I execute this one, and now we have successfully registered this data provider. The next step is to register a data offering, which basically will be registered on the same instance. So I'll copy. So here, let's say I'm gonna use category society, and to link this offering with this data provider, I had to give the ID of that data provider, which was basically 244. Okay, when I execute this one, we have registered a data offering, which is basically registered by this ID. So the next step is like if someone wants to read the offering based on its ID as a data provider, just has to use this offering, and we should be able to receive the offering registered with this one. You see here in the data, you can see I just changed this society, and this is registered with this offering ID, and here's the server the provider ID. So at the moment we have only one offering with the particular server ID data provider. So the next thing is like, if someone wants to have data offering based on this offering ID, so someone can get this one by giving the offering ID, which we are getting when we get all the offerings. You can use any offering ID, which basically here that offering ID, if you use this one, you should be able to receive the same offering even with this offering ID. The purpose for this one is that if someone is looking for only the particular offering, he can use this API. And you should be able to receive the same offering ID. So if we register another offering with this, let's say, data provider, register data provider, this one, I call it, let's say, IoT. So we have the same provider. So if I click this one, so it means that we are gonna register two offering with the same provider. And now if I use data provider offering, so I should be able to receive two offerings, one for the society and other one should be for the IoT. You can see here. And this is for this is coming from the same instance, like on the 244. Now, if I'm gonna, because we have also integrated the distributed storage. So if someone is looking, let's say, an offering, regardless of the data provider or the offering ID, so this API will give all the offering which are basically registered on all the nodes from node 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's say if I write society, and then it should be able to retrieve the offerings from, let's say, I think it should be two offerings. One is from, you see, this one is server 49, which is coming from the server 49 from the other instance of this semantic engine. And the other one will be like society, which is basically the same instance which where we are running this reference implementation, because the same instance of the semantic engine is running on the same node. So we got the two offerings, one from another instance of the semantic engine, which is running on the 249 server, and one is from the same server. So it means that the distribution of the query happened, and then we received one from the same server and one from the other instance of the semantic engine. If I use, let's say, IoT, so we have IoT from one here and IoT from 244 server here. Yes. So we got the two offerings. And let's say if someone wants to update an offering, so what he has to do is like that offering. So he has to use offering that he received from executing. Yeah. So from the same server, we have a society. Let's say I change this one into streaming and I give the no for the active and blah blah. So if I execute this one, oh, I got error for this one. This is not Yeah. And then this should be, because before in the data set we have yes. Now if we just use no, it should be. I think there is the same problem even we were facing for the other. So, but in the, if I go to the backplane API, if I use this one in the data offering, yeah, we are done. So it was before, no? No. Yeah. If I use this one, the same data registration provider ID. So we can see that there should be no in this. You see here, there is a no because I updated this particular data offering. So update is working in the backend, but this update is not working for this reference implementation for some reasons. We have to check this one. And if someone is looking for, let's say, to delete a particular offering, what he has to do is like just use this data offering ID. At the moment, for the same server, we have two offerings. One is for the society, and the other one is like IoT. So if I delete one offering based on the ID that this user has registered, so if I delete this one, now if I will try to retrieve offering with the ID, I should be able to retrieve only one offering. One should be deleted. So you see, there is only one offering left, which is basically IoT. The other one is gone. The society offering is gone. And other one is like, oh, okay, update, registration. Those are done. And the last one is like, I mean, if someone is looking for the template, so you can retrieve the template from. So here's the template someone can download from this reference implementation to populate the data offering. So in summary, that we have different APIs. The category API is integrated with the distributed storage that we can retrieve data offering from different endpoints or the semantic engine, regardless of the ID, data offering ID, or the provider ID. We just have to give the description category, and then we should be able to retrieve the offering. If there are, let's say, 5 offering on distributed on different endpoints, then we should receive the 5 offering from different endpoints, which are basically categorized based on the IoT. Yeah, that's all.